Video number 5. What is the relationship between stress and adrenal fatigue? We all get stressed. No disagreement there. The concern is when chronic stress causes a medical problem. And if it does, where is the problem? Well, if we believe medical psychology, the study of our body functions, then the key location is the adrenal gland. The adrenals create and regulate cortisol, which makes them essential for hacking stress. When your adrenals work the way they should, you become more resilient and you have much easier time taking on life's challenges. But the problem arises when we are stressed out. How? Let's have a look at it. Number 1. What is adrenal fatigue? The term adrenal fatigue was coined in 1998 by James Wilson, PhD, a naturopath and expert in alternative medicine. He describes it as a group of related signs and symptoms, a syndrome that results when the adrenal glands functions below the necessary level. He says it's usually associated with intense stress and often follows chronic infections like bronchitis, flu, or pneumonia. Wilson says people with it may not have any physical signs of illness, but still may feel tired, gray, and have fatigue that doesn't get better with sleep. They also crave salty snacks. Unlike other endocrine disorders that are caused by physical damage to parts of the adrenal gland, adrenal fatigue is seen by many in the natural health world as a middle ground syndrome with simple and easy to implement solutions. Currently, no official diagnosis exists for adrenal fatigue, and people are either considered to have normal endocrine function or total endocrine failure, like that seen in Cushing's syndrome or adrenal insufficiency, Addison's disease. Number 2. Is adrenal fatigue real? Low energy and tiredness are among the most common reasons patients seek help from a doctor. Despite being so common, it is often challenged to come up with a diagnosis, as many medical problems can cause fatigue. An attractive theory called adrenal fatigue links stress exposure to adrenal exhaustion as possible causes of this lack of energy. The failure of scientists to conduct adrenal tests does not immediately equate to the falsity of adrenal fatigue as a whole. In addition, a diagnosis for this condition is difficult because these cortisol levels fall in what conventional medicine would call inside the normal range, although the symptoms are clear to those suffering from the condition. Lastly, treatment for adrenal fatigue consists mainly of diet and lifestyle adjustments, which traditional doctors do not see as legitimate medicine. Number 3. The connection between stress and adrenal fatigue. Many people have problems, responsibilities, and very busy schedules, but that does not necessarily mean you need to be stressed out to the point where your health has to suffer. A lot of the stress is actually self-created. Your body's immune system responds by revving up where you're under stress. Your adrenal glands, which are small organs above your kidneys, respond to stress by releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are part of your fight or flight response. They increase your blood pressure and your heart rate. According to the theory, if you have long-term stress, like the death of a family member or a serious illness, your adrenal glands burn out from prolonged production of cortisol, so adrenaline fatigue sets in. Over time, high levels of cortisol can lead to insulin resistance, weakening your immune system and eventually cause muscle wasting if not properly addressed. Number 4. Symptoms of adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue symptoms include chronic fatigue, always feeling tired, autoimmune conditions, brain fog, hair loss, hormone imbalance, weakened stress response, insulin resistance, lightheadedness, decreased sex drive, libido, moodiness and irritability, depression, muscle or bone loss, skin ailments, sleep disturbances, weight gain, sweet and salty food cravings. Number 5. How to treat adrenal fatigue. Improve your diet. Cut out sugar, refined carbs, alcohol, and other inflammatory foods, and replace them with good fats, antioxidant-rich veggies, and grass-fed or wild-caught meat. Also, be aware that food sensitivities and intolerances can contribute to your fatigue. They matter because they prevent our bodies from absorbing and using the nutrients they need, as well as promoting inflammation and interfering with our sleep-wake cycle. Studies have shown that B group vitamins, zinc, magnesium, healthy fats, and seafood can decrease the risk of stress-related disorders and mental health problems. Get better sleep. Sleep is especially important with adrenal fatigue because when your cortisol is all over the place, you can have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, which in turn stresses you out even more. It's a vicious cycle. A lot of the people think sleep is about getting 8 hours a night, but sleep quality is far more important than sleep quantity, especially when it comes to balancing your cortisol. In fact, people who sleep less than 8 hours a night tend to live longer. Monitor your coffee intake. Coffee is misunderstood when it comes to adrenal fatigue. The standard advice is to avoid it entirely because it spikes cortisol. The reality is a little more complicated than that. In order to build tolerance to the cortisol, you have to drink coffee every morning. If you only drink it occasionally, your body won't adjust, and the coffee will cause a big cortisol spike that isn't good for adrenal fatigue. Try some mind-body exercises. Meditation of any kind is one of the most powerful ways to deal with stress, and it can go a long way toward normalizing your cortisol levels and treating adrenal fatigue. Traditional health practitioners have known for centuries that mindfulness-based exercises such as meditation and yoga help to relieve stress and anxiety. Regular practice improves your ability to respond to stress in the future. Being in a meditative state allows certain thoughts or feelings to pass by without causing stress or anxiety, which means you spend less time focusing on negative thoughts. When starting out, try to meditate for no longer than 2 to 3 minutes. Take the right supplements. Although most whole foods still harbor plenty of health benefits, they may not have enough of vitamins and minerals you need to recover from adrenal fatigue. The way in which food is grown, stored, processed, and cooked destroys much of its nutritional value. Adrenal fatigue also wreaks havoc on the ability of your gut to absorb nutrients from food, as chronic stress hinders normal digestive function. That's why supplements are a great way to top up your body's nutritional needs, especially when your stores of a certain nutrient have been depleted for a while. Magnesium, on its own, is great for promoting calm. Stick to 400 milligrams a day or fewer. Otherwise, you risk gastrointestinal trouble like diarrhea. Adaptogens are unusual because they modulate your cortisol in both directions. If your cortisol is low, adaptogens bring it up. If your cortisol is high, they bring it down. This makes adaptogens particularly valuable for treating adrenal fatigue, where you often deal with both highs and lows. Ashwagandha is also very effective. Be warned though, ashwagandha is Sanskrit for smell of horse, and it lives up to its name. Don't chew it, and get it in a capsule form if you can. L-theanine decreases both your physiological and psychological stress responses. It's a powerful way to promote calm clarity. You can also pair it with your morning coffee for nootropic, aka brain-boosting benefits. L-theanine and caffeine work synergistically. Zen mode has all of the above and more. Magnesium, L-theanine, GABA, ashwagandha, vitamin B6, and several other calming compounds. It's great if you want to get all your anti-stress supplements in one place. Number 6. How long does it take to recover from adrenal fatigue? It's not an easy question to answer because adrenal fatigue recovery time has never been studied. Recovery from adrenal fatigue can take a little while though. After all, it took months, maybe years, to wear out your adrenals, so it takes a little time to build up their strength again. For full adrenal recovery, you can expect it to take 6 to 9 months for minor adrenal fatigue, 12 to 18 months for moderate fatigue, up to 24 months for severe adrenal fatigue. The best approach is to make solid changes to your lifestyle for lasting results. Some people notice a difference in their overall well-being after just a few weeks of better foods that aid in detoxification of the body and adrenal fatigue supplements. If you aim for a balanced lifestyle with a healthy level of sleep, exercise, fun, and a positive environment, then you are most likely to keep your adrenal system going strong. It's important to emphasize the role of emotional factors, guilt, pain from past hurts, self-destructive habits, unresolved relationship problems. Your past and present emotional experience may serve as an ever-present stressor. Dealing with these problems directly is much more beneficial than trying to compensate for the stress they create, in the same way that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Remember, you may feel too tired to make changes now, but by moving forward in stages, you'll build the strength you need to stay with it. You will love how you feel when you do. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video lesson.